Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Nerdarchy Steve, and today I'm joined by all these fine nerds. Of course, Nerdarchy Ted here is going to be running the game for us, Dungeons and Delving, which is his take on a 5e game. We also have our friends Carlos Rivera, Robin Miller, and Bobby Partridge in the house. Our friends, but you can find their links down in the description. With that, I'm going to throw it to our GM.
Hello and welcome to Dungeons and Delving. This is season 2. We are set in the far-flung future where we have access to a little bit of technology and technomancy in some degrees as well. So if you hear things like drones or a tech skill check, there are a little bit of things that we've just added to make this world a little bit more usable for what it is that we're looking for. Last season, our characters, our adventurers, entered into a reality competition show to win glorious fame and prizes. Uh, Most of the party here were the ones involved. They managed to fight their way to the top and win, and wound up getting themselves trapped in some kind of prison, a dimension. They aren't exactly sure what, but that's when they ran into another companion that now travels with them, and they're trying to figure out how they might be able to get out of here and decide what's going on from there. So I'm gonna roll my die. So Carlos, why don't you say who you are, who you're playing, and what you remember from last session?
Got it, my guy. What is good internet? My name is Carlos Rivera. I run the Volcanic Neck YouTube channel, and I am playing Arnold Shortman, a GIF artificer slash fighter combination. He'll do anything to make his guns as good as possible. What I remember from the last session was we began with the continuation of Double Scare. We sloshed through some slimy badness just to get into a position where the next goal was to throw slime at other people. First we took a shot of whiskey, then we would throw slime at each other. Um, you know, Arnold comes from a society where, like, hey, look, we don't do that because we rely on the folks. So he was willing to take an L on just like, hey, look, I'm not gonna do this, man. Tabitha, the Lord Overseer, was all like, oh, you want to play fresh, don't you? So she started torturing the other characters and whatnot. Eventually, we persuaded her to just say, look, this is bad for ratings. Let's go on to the next challenge. And with that, I'm gonna pass it over to Robin because she looks so prepared.
Oh no,
They look really prepared, so that's why I'm
Thank
like,
you.
that you.
Okay. Right, no more prepared than anybody else. We got set up into this really mind screwy thing where Tabitha was like, and this was not Tabitha. This was like not Tabitha that was doing these things. But so she's like putting us into these weird scenarios where we're having to like face the things that most scare us, and it got pretty intense in places. Bobby.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Bobby Partridge, and I'm playing Burke Deep Hollow. He is a Dwelf, which is a Nerdarchy original race, and he's a ranger. He is a Beastmaster ranger. His pet is a Ganchuan, which is a Nerdarchy exclusive animal. It's almost like Appa, but doesn't fly and is basically like a giant cow thing. And they get farmed for food and other things. So fur is great, fur is warm. And Burke has kind of been enjoying himself a lot during this campaign so far. We've been trapped in this wilderness type environment, and being a ranger, Burke is in his element. He's felt really useful. He's had a lot of enjoyment. And in spite of it all, he's tried to make the best of things. However, last time with Tabitha doing Double Scare, we kept seeing these illusions of things that were meant to scare us as we were climbing up this, what at least in my mind, was kind of like the city level of Sonic the Hedgehog, or maybe like a Mega Man level, where we were trying to platform our way up into these different orbs and finding these different orbs and then taking them with us up this level, basically. And it was like kind of tubular, I think, not in the surfer sense. And Burke ended up seeing his friends. He saw an illusion of his friends on the ground, dead. And so, just throwing all caution to the wind, he jumped down as quick as he could so he could try to heal them. He wasn't able to heal or revive any of them. And while it was just an illusion, like I said, it still hit Burke really hard. And so, I acted that out, which got like intense for some people, which was fun. Yeah, so Dave, take us home.
So basically, that's what we did the whole session. And then we got out and we rested. The end. I am playing Alonzo Belanger, and he is trying to be anyway, a world-renowned chef. He got into Dungeons and Delving because he was tricked into signing up for it. He thought he was just signing up for a cooking competition. But you know, you win some, you lose some. So now he's world famous for something other than cooking, and he is also a human variant battle master. So with that, GM, it's all you.
All right. Well, one of the things that you either failed to mention or failed to remember is that after you got out and did a little bit of resting, you were traveling on, headed towards the mountains that are supposed to be fraught with doom and peril, that none have actually returned in the few years since cast off has been a thing. And as Arnold has seen before, the sky opened and something fell out of it. And as you approached, you saw the golden hair of an Aasimar that you have seen before. And that is where we ended.
I totally forgot that part. But it's coming back to me now that you mentioned it. Also, in the description, if you would like to play Dungeons and Dragons in a castle in scenic, exotic Ohio with Nerdarchist Ted, there's a link in the description to go check that out. Also, I hear there's going to be a cool Viking hardcore mode game, which is like 36 hours of D. With that, GM, take it away.
Scenic, exotic, Ohio, and all that corn.
Yeah. Mohican Castle. It doesn't matter where the castle is located. What matters is you're going to play D&D in a castle, and if you want, you can do so with yours truly. But I digress. So a body is dropped out of the sky before you. It's about 30 feet away. It is lying face down. What do all of you do?
Approach
Obviously
with caution.
That
Arnold will approach as he would any sort of because he's seen this many times. Not this person, but like he's seen people get teleported in.
Yep.
And he approaches this person just to check if they're okay.
Okay. Well, the person that has arrived, I've already identified that they are an Aasimar. While the form looks somewhat familiar to the three of you, Arnold, the first thing you see is they are beat up, battered, and bruised. There are open wounds, there are bruises. If they were wearing armor, and there are some signs that this person is used to wearing it, the armor is gone. But without needing any kind of check, you do notice that the person is breathing.
I immediately arm seatbelt Nebula, and let's be cautious. Remember what happened last time? We tried to help a friend.
I'm not going to let that scare me. And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna drop a cure wounds.
Oh, thank God. I was going to do the same thing, but I have one slot left. Thank God.
Oh, I was trying really hard not to use my spells because I thought they were all going to backfire right until the very end. So I still have plenty of those.
So as the cure wounds takes hold, the form rolls over onto their back. Their breathing gets a little bit deeper, and as they do so, you recognize, I don't know if any of you were ever close to this particular person, but from Team Shining Unicorn, this is Raziel.
I believe Tabitha actually had some bonds of connection with Raziel, if I'm remembering correctly, from like 7 years ago.
Two, it's all good.
That makes 14 in dog years.
True.
So you know that Team Shining Unicorn is the one that Seraphim Galamin was a member, and Seraphina. Apologize, my cold is killing me here. But Seraphina is the rival and competitor that kind of fought with you for like most of the first season, and then there wound up being a bit of a truth bomb that was discovered or dropped when Nebula suspected Seraphina of liking Nebula. And after that, things tended to be a little bit less competitive.
Oh, it was still competitive. Just the nature of the game changed.
Which Nebula is fine with, by the way.
So Raziel, looks up, seeing, the group of you kind of looking over top of him. And when his eyes scan to Nebula, he's like, I knew it. You are alive.
Oh, the fact that you need to say that means that there are people that don't think so, and that's... How did you get here?
I'm feeling a little offended. How about you, Burke?
Well,
Well,
I mean, Raziel, why are you here? That's what I want to know. Are you dead? You're all dead.
It was a near thing. It is actually what.
Okay, we're
Well,
under a tornado warning. I have to go.
oh my.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I will talk to you guys later.
Sure. All right. So Raziel, winds up informing you, like, no, it's not just Nebula. I see the a lot of you are, I don't know him. And he points to Arnold. You don't understand you've been gone a while. And the station says that, there's no problems, and they've done something to try and make for excuses, and that there are supposedly shows in the works with each of you. And he points to the lot of you, and the long story is, we suspect the station is behind some shenanigans. And Seraphina, being kind of who she is, she kind of risked a lot to try and get to some kind of answer to solve this mystery. So some of us in her, I hate to use the word employ, but some of us who are our friends, some of us who have worked with her, she's tried to track down every lead to get something going on, to have some kind of clue as to what is up within the station. And that's where I came in. I basically investigated the station, trying to track down what was going on. Where are we?
Funny story there, my friend.
So Arnold was just gonna say, "You're in hell." If the person's trained in insight in any sense, he doesn't mean that in the main metaphor.
Sure.
Sense
Yeah.
of
This person, his golden eyes, kind of register your meaning as you were intended, not the literal translation thereof.
Yeah.
So I imagine this is some kind of prison.
That's as good as explanation as any.
I mean,
what?
maybe we're dead. We don't actually know technically.
I am not a technomancer, let alone any kind of controller, but I can assure you that you're alive, and so am I. But the confines of what the controllers are able to do within the station, it's kind of beyond what everyone thought they were capable of. Sure, it's one thing to make a generated monster or moving platforms, but if this is just a program, this is a amazingly complex illusion, then they're holding more power than we thought. And I think the plan is to try and see if we can get some kind of, now that I've found you, a way to send a signal back and forth. Maybe if we had a means of communication, of working the problem from both sides, and then maybe we can get out. But I was hoping that I would be able to find Nebula and use her skills, because we all know how much of a whiz she is. It's a real shame that she just all of a sudden became struck dumb.
Unfortunate.
She's just so shocked in silence. I mean, you gotta understand when she meets a long companion, it's something that will take a shot to anyone's soul.
Sure.
She was working with technology stuff. Maybe if you two went back to the village, you could try to figure something out, and the three of us, do some reconnaissance with the mountains and whatnot, like we were going to do.
Well, I mean, if you think that's the best plan, I don't know where this village is or how far away it is, but if she can get me there, then that's fine. I can assist as best as possible.
If we're on our way back to the village, during that time, Arnold's gonna take a quick moment to introduce himself, like Arnold Shortman, Galleon Gifts. See as if she knows anything about that, since that's a running gag. Thus far,
I don't know what the gallant gifts are.
Galleons.
Sure. Well, I am Raziel Tarish, and he does a flourish that he winces through. He the grace even through his grimace is still evident. his golden hair falling in a wave to the sides as he kind of bows gracefully to you. Um, I'm not always this ragged, but I've been stripped of anything useful or valuable before I was dumped in here. Uh, I I've gathered that it's one of the three controllers at the station, but their identities are kept secret so that they can't be persuaded or corrupted or what have you. But that doesn't seem to stop them seeking others to apparently be shady and underhanded. And we've done quite a bit of digging into a lot of missing people and contestants. And I mean, I don't have the list. That wasn't my mission, but supposedly dozens over several years. How long has it been for the lot of you in here?
We've been here like a week.
About that week, 10 days.
I say 2 years, and I quickly give you a quick rundown of the rules of cast off, what's to be expected of them.
Well,
How
I
you
will.
each pull your own weight in.
I'll
The next person.
I'll stay within the limits until I can rest up and acquire some kind of blade. Preferably something nimble. But I will assist in whatever tasks are sent to me. I am not one to shirk off duties.
I have a spare dagger in my inventory. I'll give it them. It's not a sword.
And I don't know if you've ever seen knife fighters, but he like flips it through his fingers, with practiced ease, and just holding a blade, he seems to be walking a little bit taller, breathing a little bit better. And he's got it like kind of point down, just in his grasp, just to have something at the ready should there be some kind of scuffle. As eventually cast off comes into view, and Serafina and Raziel pass through the gates. Do you guys go into town, or do you head back in the direction that you were initially heading?
Well, I want to get back into town for the moment, but as we are, like, I kind of want to be like, hey, do you think that, Raziel's been sent to us at this time because of us heading to the mountains?
Maybe, or maybe it's passable, I suppose, that Raziel could maybe have stumbled on something from the outside, like out there, just searching.
I mean, all my time here, I haven't found a particular rhyme or reason who comes in, why. All I know is every time they do, I just hope they're friendly. But, sometimes you got to extend yourself out a little bit just to see what the other person's about. So I'm happy you all were friendly.
Though, well, I could use a rest first off, because I am actually very, very tapped, as you might say, for spells. I've used a lot of energy emotionally and spiritually, and in my connection to everything, you know, your instincts get frazzled when you see everybody die. So a nice rest would probably behoove me. But I do have to wonder, why are these bills? Because if you remember, all of the assistants were named Bill. Is it possible that the bills are still up to something on the other side? And why would they want to send us? We didn't really do anything to them except win the game. Maybe we weren't supposed to win.
I don't know that it has anything to do with who wins or who loses, but it seems like the show is being run from this place. We are still competing. Everyone here is still competing, whether they like it or not. So, as they say, the show must go on. As to why,
So,
my guess is profit. They're doing it for money.
so you wouldn't know that, because it's been a while since we played. There was suspected that one or more of the teams were cheating, and the team Flumps was kind of being the front runner for a long time throughout the show, and you guys just kind of narrowly beat them out at the end with some really startling point pushes, if you will. And the voice you know did specifically say, when it spoke to just you guys. I'm trying to find where it went.
When
Crap,
we left or
where'd you
during the
go?
rescue mission we launched.
When everything ended, it says, "How dare you mess with my plans and profit?" And then you heard fail safe, fail safe, fail safe, and everything went black.
Hmm.
And it was two different voices. The first voice said the sentence, and then the mechanical voice said fail safe. So the idea of that if somebody was looking to do some shady stuff, this is a way of getting rid of those that are mucking around with it.
Ooh, Ted, can I ask a question? I've been a
Absolutely.
fan of the show, right? Like we established that in season one. Burke loves
Yep.
this. Have sponsors always been a part of it?
Yes.
Okay. So Burke will look at Enzo and say, we were sponsored by Mal's Mysterious Marvels. And then he kind of leans over to Arnold and goes, because power should make you say, mmm. And then he says, but we were sponsored by them. And I want to just think back to every season that was won. What is there like a connection in what sponsors tended to win more often, or what sponsors did well, generally speaking, and as it relates
No,
to bumps?
there weren't any exact connections that you can make there, because in some cases, like, the sponsorships were like something local, something that the person on the team had a connection with. Sometimes they were these bigger things because there was a celebrity, like with Team Shining Unicorn. Serafina had all the money she needed, so like her album was the sponsor for her. um you know and it was just, sometimes there were big wins, sometimes there weren't. But you're not establishing any connection where the sponsor is connected to the winner.
Okay, so I wish Nebula was here because this feels like up her alley, but it might also be up Enzo's alley because I'm not thinking so much in terms of like all of the sponsors, right? But more what I'm kind of getting at, because Burke is wise but not intelligent. So I'm kind of hoping that my saying these things will trigger somebody who would know more about it to then make a realization. Because you know how
Sure.
like corporations in general will like own other corporations, but they'll like call themselves different names. So you might have like two brands that are on the shelf next to each other and you think they're competing, but they're really not. They're both owned by the same thing. Kind of what I'm
Right.
going for as a player is there something like that going on where it's like maybe all of the different corporations that are sponsoring, like the ones that tend to win are all like under this big like umbrella of some evil corporation or whatnot. Like I wouldn't know that. I'm Burke. I don't know that. But I don't know if somebody else would know that, like Enzo knowing about some evil food corporation, or maybe Arnold with his storied background knowing about many different corporations and what I don't know, or Nebula. Like that's kind of what I'm going for in my thought process, at least. I don't know if that helps.
Sure, I understand where you're looking at and where you're getting. And if it's something that, if Burke wants to think about it for a little while and maybe pose the question to when Nebula is a little bit more responsive, then maybe we can revisit there.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So I will do that. I will have Bert kind of like doing that and like mulling that in his head through whatever we're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what is Enzo and Arnold looking to do? Before I guess you guys decide you're gonna bed down and rest for a little while.
Let me see. Like, I think what I'm gonna do is, say a prayer to the great gift in the sky for saying like, hey, thank you for allowing me to come back to this place of salvation, and I hope I can just help as many people as I can. Now, Ted, between me and you,
Mm-hmm.
your character, you're I forgot Raziel, I think, right?
Yeah, Raziel. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I handed him a dagger, but it has the return blade and the return weapon infusion on it.
Okay.
So, on the goofiest chance he acts fishy, yeah.
That's evil, dude, but cool.
It's not evil. I still give it to him. He may use it as long as he doesn't like shank me in my sleep, But I just wanted you to know he has.
So if he does shank you in your sleep and you recall it to you, but since it's in you, does it really come back to you?
Wow. Huh. Well, I mean, let's look at the physics of all that real fast. He shanked me and he lets go.
Oh no. Who lets go of their knife when you shank someone?
Oh, then it's not in my possession. It's in his possession still. It says it returns to the wielders hand immediately.
Ah, okay. So sheathing it in your body doesn't count. Uh yeah, I'm just gonna be contemplating resting. Uh I might steal some of Nebula's potatoes to make food with.
Wow. Low. Low.
Listen, when a man has a need for a potato.
Well, if we're gonna bed down, I'm just gonna rearrange my spells super fast. One of them is gonna be the detect magic spell, to learn what that little crystal black ball was I got from the
Sure.
previous session. But
Oh,
other
yeah,
than that, I have no.
you won a fabulous prize. What is your fabulous prize?
I will tell you in the morning, Enzo.
Maybe I'll sleep a wink.
I,
So
I,
I have to make an exhaustion check.
right. I'm so tired right now. Ugh. I think I'll have a clearer head in the morning. And let us know if we successfully long rest.
Yes, you can get your long rest. You're safe in town. Uh,
How close is the Grove to where we are?
it's like a couple-hour walk.
Okay. Um, so I think as part of his morning calisthenics, instead of doing his usual whatever, Burke will take a walk to the Grove, like super early in the morning, like pre-sunrise,
Mm.
because he wants to meet up with Thorn, Ironbark,
All right. All
and
right.
I want to do like that little. I want to kind of like have Burke show him what the little ritual is that his grandmother used to do with them when he was a kid,
Okay.
and just do that with him, and then just take the walk back right around the time breakfast is there, probably because he'll leave just after sunrise.
All right. So you are leaving town alone?
Yeah, I guess I am.
Is he ever truly alone?
I have Hefty in my little Pokeball necklace, remember?
Sure,
Let me
sure.
get a Pokeball necklace.
Uh are you attempting to walk with any kind of stealth, or are you just, striding plainly?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna walk with stealth. I can do that without using extra time as well because I'm a ranger who has that thing.
Sure.
So
All right.
yeah,
Give me a stealth roll then.
stealth. I'm theoretically good at this. Don't feel me now, D&D Beyond.
Famous last words.
16. I rolled a 10.
Okay. All right. There you go. All right. So you're pretty confident that you're, not leaving much of a trail, and you're walking with soft feet as you head out towards the grove. And you can see ever so slowly, that this tree is moving forward, heading in the direction of town.
Oh. Is it the same tree?
Yeah.
It
Well,
is.
you guys had discussed, with him previously that he was going to come to the town.
The talent show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, yeah. So Burke will just run up to him and be like, hey, Thorn, you're coming to town. This is great.
Indeed. I would like to see what you have to offer.
Well, this morning I was trying to do a ritual, but I realized I don't have any butterflies. So, and he'll just start going like this.
So, do you need to call forth a butterfly?
I don't know if I can do that. Let me see. I have speak with animals. I could try to call one. I don't think it would work very well. I don't know if they'll come.
He moves a branch, and you watch as just softly a flock of butterflies, appear, and they begin, flitting and floating around you.
Oh, well, that's exactly what we needed for the ritual. And then I'm not sure. You can help me know what exactly is done for the ritual, really, because like this is your goddess. So
Sure.
what do we do as part of this? You tell me.
Sure. Let me pull that up right quick. So you're talking about the morning ritual, or the
Yep.
so they gather at dawn to bask in the first light of day, offering prayers to Belize for the beauty that unfolds with each sunrise. The rituals typically involve creating floral arrangements, singing hymns, and releasing butterflies as symbols of her grace. So typically offering song and I am no singer, so don't expect me to bust out a song, even if
Come
I had
on.
one prepared.
Come on, Ted.
No, I will not punish our lovely fans out there, because even if I could sing with my scratchy voice for the past week, I don't think even that's gonna fly. So no, and doubly no.
Oh,
Um,
so like I imagine then for this, like there's like maybe Burke is humming that if you guys have ever seen the guy who plays Pippin from Lord of the Rings sing I See Fire, like that's kind of what
okay,
I'm envisioning is something along that vibe, while like Burke will just kind of use druidcraft and on like wildflowers and make like a enormous flower crown for Hefty. Just kind of like maybe singing that and belting it out for whoever hears or whatever. And maybe even also doing druidcraft to make some kind of like, I don't know, wild berries or something that I can find manifest so I can take them to Enzo as part of like the morning breakfast thing.
sure,
Something
sure.
like
So Thorn joins in now, and it's a deep bass to kind of provide groundwork underneath whatever it is that you're doing. um but it's long, slow notes. um and while it is a celebration of revelry, uh his his deep timbre adds a little bit of sadness and melancholy to the situation. And it doesn't fully come across to any but uh you know a real servant. The fact that he is trapped here means so much more to you now. um that this spirit is a lot bigger than what you had initially thought. um yeah, and it's almost a little sad or tragic.
Yeah. I think Burke, as he's singing, just like he probably has like a tenor voice, I would imagine, because elf dwarf mixed together, that just feels right. But like kind
Sure.
of like as he's going, like trying to match the melancholy rhythm with like an optimistic tone, that sort of like hopeful rise of cadence and timbre, and trying to kind of like end it in a way that will hopefully give not just Thorn hope, but even to a degree, I think Burke is trying to convince himself that he has hope in this,
Sure.
especially given what happened yesterday.
Right.
And as he's doing it, he's just thinking about the way that like Enzo and Arnold and Nikki encouraged him to find joy in things even while they're here, and kind of like influencing that, and then you know closing it out, and like the then he's going to gather up what he has and take it to Enzo for breakfast.
Okay. So we'll scroll back a little bit of time. Enzo, how does your sleep go? What is it that Enzo dreams about this evening?
I think he's kind of haunted a little bit by his experience in the double scare.
Double scare. Yep.
And like he just like dreams that he keeps forgetting the recipe, or getting them slightly wrong.
So it twists a little bit where it's not your jibes of how could I forget this, but you find yourself like under the tutelage of Chef Bob, and like in a Gordon Ramsay situation, you are getting berated over and over again for like screwing up one thing after another, before you are you know uh physically hauled out of the kitchen and called useless. And as your body hits the floor, as you're thrown through the whatever kitchen you're imagining, you shake in bed, and you wake up coated in sweat, as this has left a little bit of an impact on you.
Yeah, so he's gonna spend the morning collecting himself before he wanders off to the cooking area, looks at everything, and then goes off just outside the fence, someplace not too far but secluded, and
Okay.
and cries.
Ouch. Arnold, how is it that you react to your dreams? What is going on with you?
Well, since the events of Double Scare, Arnold was forced to relive being trapped and closured. Um, though he knows that is you know, it was a magical effect put under him, it still does not change, you know, his thoughts on things. Um, Time to time, Arnold reawakens nightmares here and there throughout the night. Part of his dreams include being trapped in the enclosure once again. Um, Almost two sides is too small for a gift. You know what I mean?
So
So,
it goes one step further within your nightmare, as not only are the hippo within the enclosure, but the gift that welcomed you, that you became a part of their group, their team, their ship, their family. uh they're now looking on from without, treating you as nothing more than a simple, you know, beast or creature for everyone else's amusement. And their their jibes, you know, bite. You not only know these people's names, you recognize the voices. And instead of offering uh caring words, guiding words, things of encouragement, it is naught but teases and insults, things that you don't think they could have ever said to you. And you wonder, like, is this their true thoughts, or is there you know more lies involved in whatever this is?
mm, as all that happens, like Arnold, in those nightmares when you're yelling to the top of your lungs, but you're like dialed down to the lowest volume setting. Um, Damn near to mute. Arnold is kind of yelling and screaming to the top of his lungs, "Speak comfort to me, my friends." But it's just getting drowned out by the laughing and ridiculing.
And then eventually, you awake as well. This thought, this beratement, fresh in your mind. uh, you can close your eyes and still envision it.
As Arnold wakes up like in a coldest type of sweat. He just kind of lays down for a moment, hearing whatever birds chirping. Well, just taking a look around his surroundings for a second, making sure, am I here? And he just, how you wake up for a minute, you're just like still, there, just making sure you're not getting debated by a second dream. Um, Eventually, Arnold accepts this is reality for a second, but almost testing testing his surroundings for a second. He doesn't like burn himself because he's not dumb, but he kind of plays around with the fire of his brewer's kit just to check to see if the warmth is actually there. Can he feel the pressure from the exhaust? Anything that would make sense into a reality type setting, is it still there? He does that for a little while until he's satisfied that he is awake, he is not zapped away into like out of the freaking third circle of hell, and that this place may have to offer. um and Arnold goes about his normal daily business, prepares his spells, that's pretty normal.
Sure.
And he's just says, I have to use this one for a while. I guess there was a lot of things I didn't do since they showed up. As he's getting identify ready for the thingamajigger, he finds it more before he actually ritually cast it or whatever. He finds it kind of appropriate. I'm kind of part of a new crew now. I want to do this with them, as he holds off on getting the spell ready.
Okay. All right. Jumping back over to Burke. Eventually you complete your ritual. Do you start heading back to town, or do you like just keep pace with Thorn for a while? What's your thoughts here, your plan?
So he'll thank Thorn. Thanks for sharing that. I hope that it helps. I know that it must be hard to be here as long as you've been here.
It is difficult.
Your butterflies, honey. Oh, sorry.
Well, he pulls one of the butterflies through the branches, and now it alights, upon you. Where does it land?
On his nose.
It lands on your nose.
Yep.
Interesting. So, as it lands upon your nose, it flutters its wings, and you feel it hit across your, surrounding your eyes and cheeks. But you don't see it anymore, and it didn't fly away.
Huh.
So at least for the time being, your face has got a big butterfly mark on it.
Cool. Yeah, and he'll kind of keep pace with Thorn a little bit, but eventually make it back to town. He'll say, like, I have to get these berries back to Enzo so that he has them for breakfast. He's a very good cook.
Well, perhaps I will make avail myself of his cooking as well as the entertainment when I get there.
That would be great. If everything goes according to plan too, I think we should even have lights, because that's what Nebula's been working on, is lights, and we've got a stage already built. We've got all of the trimmings for a great show. So hopefully it will, bring everybody a little joy.
So you begin making your way back to town, and about a half hour later, town is within view, and a little bit of cold dances up your spine as familiar laughter kind of comes your way.
What kind of familiar laughter?
You know what kind.
You know what kind.
I was afraid of it, Tabitha.
Tabitha appears, and she's a lot closer, than she normally is. You had some very not nice things to say when you were before us last.
Well, with all due disrespect, it's not very nice of you to take the form of someone who I care very much about and haven't found yet.
So you still think that I am not me?
Yeah, I do.
And why is that?
Tabitha liked playing pranks, and Tabitha was even a little ruthless at times, but she wasn't terrible. You're terrible.
Why am I terrible?
Because you're mean and cruel.
Cruel, even.
Yeah.
You've managed to complete every task set before you. You are, by all accounts, hale as can be.
You know, people can be real healthy in the body without being healthy in the mind. And what you're doing is hurting people's minds. And
Really.
only someone cruel would do that to someone like him. And he points in the distance to the tree that's a good ways off.
I don't know who's out there. Is Enzo out there?
I
Last I saw him, he completed his trial.
What do you want from us? Besides a reaction.
Entertainment.
Who are we entertaining?
Well, those that pay from home, allow for a more darker audience base.
Hmm.
Not the casual viewer that just wants to see all smiles and happy faces.
So if we are entertaining those people, we're bringing profit, which leads me to believe that there's something else going on here because someone thinks we ruined their profit.
Well, that is what was told to us.
So what's the goal? Where does this end? Where's Tabitha?
And she just gestures her arms out to the side as if to put herself on display.
Right, stupid question. What do you want besides entertainment?
Well, today, merely a conversation.
Well, what do you want to talk about then?
Well, you aren't convinced that I am who I am. And as stated, you were quite upset and seemed genuinely hurt by what is going on.
Yeah, because you made me think I lost people who I care about, which coincidentally is exactly why I don't believe you are who you say you are. Because Nebula doesn't. I care about Nebula. I trust Nebula. I trust Enzo. I trust Arnold, and I haven't even known him that long. But I don't trust you.
Well, that is a shame. So go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. Can I use my passive?
Sure.
18 is my passive.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm going to go better than that.
So you watch as while everything from the waist up seems very flowy and showy, very, very confident. That mirroring what you've seen from her so far. But she banters about something meaningless for another minute or so, but her leg is kind of jerking against the dirt in the ground, and eventually she's like, I guess I cannot get through to you. And she twirls her sword and vanishes as she has done before.
Okay. Can I do a weird thing?
What would you like to do?
I want to cast Speak with Plants.
Okay.
And Burke is just going to like lay down on the grass, say, hello. Are you awake?
Yeah.
You're all very verdant today. Let me start by saying that. And he's kind of like patting them. He says,
So where are you laying down exactly? Right where you were, where she was?
Just kind of where I was.
Okay.
Can I ask you little fellows something? That person, that thing that was just here, it had something weird going on with its leg related to the ground. Do you happen to know what that was?
I'm not certain what it was doing. It was moving. And the grass kind of rustles a little bit here and a little bit there. The grass over there says it looks like it drew something.
It drew something. Where did it draw it?
Where she was standing?
I'll go kind of look and investigate it and see if I can find something.
All right, make a investigation check for me.
Okay, I am not great at those. 15. It's one less good than my passive.
So you look, and it appears, and it's poorly written. But if it was done by a jerking, boot, you couldn't have gotten a whole heck of a lot better. But there are 3 letters that are complete, and it says GEA, and it looks like it was starting something else, but it didn't get completed.
GEA. Would I know if this is the start of a spell or something?
Are you proficient in Arcana?
I am.
You can make a check if you like and roll high.
Okay. I got a natural 1 plus 5. You know what? I'm going to use my inspiration on this. I care about
Okay.
it. Let's see if it does better. 14 plus 5, 19.
Okay. So going off of the concept of a spell, there is a spell that starts off that way, that could very easily be a situation that could make somebody do something that they didn't want to do. It's kind of not like it's not really a good thing. Um, but it's the name Geese, Geas.
It doesn't make people teleport.
Huh?
It doesn't make people teleport.
No.
No, it magically controls you.
Oh,
It's a
do I think
compulsion.
that's what was happening here?
It's like a 9th level compulsion.
Oh. Do I think that's what was happening with this?
Based off of what you said, no.
Okay.
If you are familiar with Geese and you go down the rabbit hole, it's possible that you could use that as an argument for this being Tabitha and not acting like Tabitha.
Okay.
I think it's pronounced Gios. That's just
Sure.
That's
I'm not
my
gonna
2 cents.
argue.
That's my 2 cents. I don't know. You're the DM. You call it whatever you want.
Can I?
Rocks fall. Arnold dies.
Dare you correct me?
Well, I'm sure.
I've always pronounced it Geese. It could be Gias.
So, fun fact, I am older than everybody else in the group, and I mispronounce everything. And like morons, they listen to me, or lemons, one or the other. And I think like all their bad vocabulary comes from me.
I'm not gonna deny that.
Okay. I want to commit this to memory, like exactly how it looks. Because for all I know, this could be runes. I was thinking it was teleportation stuff. Maybe not. Maybe it's something else. Or maybe it's a communication thing, is what I was also thinking.
Maybe she
No.
was considering geezing you. Or
Maybe.
guy-eyesing you.
Maybe.
And then aborted at the last minute.
Maybe. I wanna like just memorize this, and I'm gonna show everybody later, including Nebula. And then I'm gonna go back to wherever everybody else is and very exuberantly present Enzo with these berries from the field. They're probably
For sure.
strawberries because they're growing in a field.
They're snozberries.
Or snozberries.
I'm not in town when you get back.
Oh, well, guess I'm gonna go see Arnold and see what happened to Enzo. Hey, Arnold.
Huh?
There it is.
Yes. Yes.
Do you
Is that a rock? I'm joking.
Well, the first thing you would notice is he's basically got a very vibrant butterfly tattooed on his face.
Oh,
That was not there yesterday.
I don't recall a tattoos here. Where do you get that from?
what?
The butterfly.
Huh? No. He just kind of like rubs his face and looks in a reflective.
Feels like skin. Feels like skin when you touch it.
I show
But
him
you know,
a
when you
ref-
look at a reflective surface,
I
you
pull up
can
my flask and show him like, hey, this is kind
you
of
can
what
see the full butterfly that landed on your nose is now basically imprinted to your face.
Oh wow. You know, I never thought I would get a tattoo. This is very extreme.
intriguing.
I don't hate it.
As I take a whiff, I get a hint of aroma of berries and whatnot. Um, Ted, if you don't mind me asking, I don't know the type of berries, but are these like a rare type of treat?
No, I mean they're good, but I mean it's not like, oh my god, I haven't seen those and blah blah blah.
Uh, Are they good berries?
They are indeed good, but they're not good berries.
They're not that good. Got it. They're all right berries.
They're all right, very. I did find these, Arnold. I was hoping to find Enzo. I mean, I figured maybe he'd like to do something with them for breakfast.
I mean,
Berry
I just-
pancakes.
Yeah, I went and
just
saw
came-
Thorn, and that's where I got this apparently from a butterfly.
I mean, I just got out of my own hut. I haven't particularly seen anyone just yet.
Oh. Well, I suppose we should probably go find Enzo. Hopefully, nothing terrible has happened to him.
Not.
Oh, I also saw Tabitha. That was a little bit terrible.
You get you just like you kind of like look at you, Arnold, like he doesn't think anything much of it, obviously, but you can tell from the expression on his face that he's like, of course you did.
Yes.
Are you trained in insight at all, or
Let me see. I have a good passive insight because I am observant. But no, I'm not trained in it officially.
okay. Then you get a sense of like, like doesn't like no. He's like you could tell he doesn't have any warm fuzzies for
Mhm.
Tabitha. It's like
I don't think it was Tabitha for what it's worth. I think it was that weird mimicry thing that we've been dealing with. They did something on the ground, and I kind of like used Druidcraft to duplicate it in the dirt. It looked like this. You're arcane, right? Do you think this is a teleportation or maybe a communication thing?
trained in magic, but for specific uses. I mean, damn it, if I had books, maybe, but I know what I know. I mean, love to expand my knowledge whenever possible, but hey, I couldn't make heads or tails particularly of this. Um, with time, perhaps, but can't say for sure.
Hmm. Are any of the sponsors like initials GEA at all?
Nope.
Oh, so that's not it. I'm just gonna be puzzling about this, like even IRL. I'm gonna be trying to figure this out.
I think you're overcomplicating it.
I probably am. That's like my MO. So yeah, I guess we go looking for a an Enzo wherever he is.
All right. So why don't you give me a survival check? See if you can follow the trail from your guys' little dwelling where Enzo might have gone.
So you said we're doing what? I'm sorry.
Survival?
Survival. I'm trained in that. And I got a 9, so 16.
Shit, let me roll. I was literally I put away my character sheet for 5 seconds. Like, you got this, right, man?
Nope. There's a reason I keep my tab open at D&D Beyond.
Yeah, like literally, I cannot. Like, you took me by surprise on that one. Survival. I will roll. Fuck 7. My dice do
Well,
bleed.
16 is enough to follow the tracks out of town. It's not like Enzo was doing anything to specifically hide where he was going.
Nope.
Oh
And the
no,
tracks are from today. So
Arnold.
uh
Arnold.
Huh?
I tell him about the Geese spell and how it's a 9th level compulsion. What if Tabitha already got to Enzo?
Hmm. Then that's it. I mean, I don't know what more can be done at that point. Are you serious? Artificers only got 5th level? Yeah, I don't know shit about that spell, done. Are you serious? Like,
They're
Yeah,
not.
artificers are half casters.
They're not full casters. They just have other
Yeah.
cool stuff they do.
yeah, I don't know jack about that. I'm like, what?
Well, I mean, you
That's
can make
news
an
to me.
Arcana check.
Sure. Oh, really? That rolls? Okay, I got a 17. I got a 17 or something that's kind of like, he's like, what? We got to survive.
So you are familiar with that spell. It is powerful. You're not sure if it's a 9th level spell or not, but it's definitely a powerful one, and it's in some circles it's considered like bad mojo. You don't cast that because it's mind affecting for a duration, and once it's been enacted, that's it. There's no fight against. You just live with it until it's over.
I tell him all of that, but on top of it, I'll go into some some minutia about it, saying in some sects they say geese, in some sects they say giasa, but it depends on. Yeah, but regardless, it's not a spell we want to be under. It's power.
I think there's this place they sell like lingonberry jam. It might be IKEA. Maybe that's what it is. Sorry, that was a nod to the chat. I'm sorry.
Never apologize for nodding to the chat.
uh, uh, so we should probably find Enzo because I'm very concerned about if he was geezed or not.
I mean,
And if he went to IKEA, I want some lingonberry jam.
well, we'll follow whatever tracks we can. Hopefully, our nudge ranger got it
Yeah.
right.
Hopefully. Wait. I think I have a thing for this. Actually, you know what? I think I have a thing. Let me see. I have speak with plants. I already used that. Beast sense, animal, speak with animals. So, I have beast sense. Does Hefty have a good sense of smell? I don't actually know this.
I don't know if Ganchuans are like super sensitive on smell. I know they have, big claws that they dig up furrows of dirt to pull up roots and whatnot. It's been a while since I wrote those.
Well, it certainly couldn't hurt to try to get Hefty to help us a little bit. So I will call Hefty out of his not a Pokeball and then climb on top of him and see if I can get a better vantage to find Enzo, I guess.
Well, I told you had no problem following the tracks to get to him.
Okay. So we can't actually find him.
You can, yes.
Okay, I'll still let Hefty kind of waddle about after us.
Sure.
In his thundering way.
No, he's only thunders when he actually decides to run. And Ganchuans are not really, into running.
Yeah. But when they do, you better be careful of that stampede.
Indeed.
I think you probably hear Enzo before you see him.
What do we hear?
Sobbing.
Sobbing. Oh, huh. Do you hear that, Arnold?
Yes.
It sounds like Enzo, but crying. I didn't know Enzo could cry.
We make our way towards the direction of self-loathing, and as we approach Enzo, we're like, I kind of make a quick giggle, saying like, "It's a poor way to salt your food."
What are you doing here? I thought you guys were doing like other things this morning.
So it's safe to travel alone.
That is very true, actually. However, we brought the best berries for the best chef, and he'll like hand the berries over to Enzo and then say, actually, they're not the best berries. They're not even good berries. They're just all right berries. But I'm sure that you're the best chef and can make them the best berries.
Enzo just kind of looks down at them and goes, Chef Bob's not here.
Of course he's not.
You should probably find him to make your berries.
Why? He's terrible. We hate Chef Bob.
I can't remember any of my recipes. I keep messing them up.
You can't remember your recipes?
No. I woke up this morning and I couldn't remember any of my recipes.
Oh. Why couldn't you remember them?
I don't know. Chef Bob kept yelling at me. Then they threw me out of the kitchen.
Have I
We have a
heard of
kitchen
Chef?
now?
Have I heard of Chef Bob? And I don't know. I've clearly lived longer than these young folk.
Give me a history check.
Ready. I don't know if a 10's gonna cut it, but I got a 10 on history.
Yeah, I mean, nothing is ringing the bell off of that.
It was a dream. I had a bad dream. In that place, I saw things. Terrible things.
What'd you see?
Got all the recipes. I kept getting them wrong. Food was terrible. You remember the last meal I made here? Good.
Enzo, for as long as I've been here, until you came around, we had to hobble together whatever we could. Yeah, I get it. This is not a 5-star restaurant. Hell, it's not even a 6-star restaurant. Do you remember what I told you that night? Especially with the youngins around?
Am I supposed to be cheered up because I made food and it was better than the actual dirt you were eating before?
I
You
grip
guys
him.
were, you
I
guys were
grip
literally
him.
eating dirt off the ground.
I grip Enzo by his chef's uniform. You helped us get by that day by creating more than just food. You helped take us away from this shit life. For one moment, we could forget about cobbling together rotten food and doing the best we could with it. You helped put together a fantastic meal with the least optimal ingredients. I would love to continue this self-pity party, but we're outside right now where it is not safe. That is where you belong, and I point towards the direction of Outcast. That is where we need you, because Burke has brought together some okay berries, but we need you to make them better berries.
It's cast off, right?
Yes. Good
I'm
job.
sorry, I said Outcast. But
He points off to the sister village of and rivals of Cast away.
Ah,
Right.
go to Outcast, the city in the beneath of our world, or go to Castaway, where no, it's cast off,
Jesus Christ. Like,
as
so many names.
into discard.
We are
I,
out, cast off right now.
Technically, yes.
I will try. Thank you. And Mark, what happened to your face?
Oh, I apparently got an unintentional tattoo this morning.
And I get really close and go, "Can I touch your face?"
I mean,
I touch
as
it.
long as you don't plan on cooking it,
No, this would make a beautiful cookie, though. I love this design.
you could maybe make cookies looking like it. I could share them with Thorn during our morning ritual.
I know what I'm gonna do with the berries. And I didn't mean cook your face. That's gross. Cannibalism is not cool. But I think I'm gonna make butterfly cookies.
That sounds absolutely great. Then they'll be great berries.
I don't know if they'll be great berries, but maybe they'll make great cookies.
That's even better.
I think these colors are just gonna work.
Yeah. And carbs make everything better too.
It's the sugar.
That makes sense. Yes. So here's the thing, Enzo, you need to remember you made a lot of those recipes yourself with your dwarf elf fusion cooking. I'm half dwarf and half elf, and I've never even heard of it. That means those recipes come from inside you. You're a great cook.
Yeah, I really would like to go to your farm sometime and talk to your mom.
We should do that whenever we get out of here. You can also speak with my many brothers and sisters.
They're much younger than you, aren't they?
Yes.
I turn away from him and make a bit of a sour face. That's great. As you said, we should probably get back to the village.
Yeah, hopefully we don't run into Tabitha again.
Yeah, I'm not ready for any more games.
You see Arno again as Tabitha's name is brought up. Like, I don't know what you guys see in her. I have met nothing but hardship from this wretched harpy.
Well, the Tabitha we knew was pretty great, but I guess as we're walking back, but I mean, Nebula and Burke they're very optimistic and see the best, I think, in people all the time. But there was definitely a dark side to Tabitha, and she actually was dead at one point and came back or something. So, and she doesn't remember anything. So she could have been the most terrible person on the whole entire planet before she woke up, and she wouldn't know. We wouldn't know. So I don't know. What if Tabitha was really bad and she got reset, and this is actually who?
Well,
Maybe
if
we
that-
knew the broke Tabitha, and broke Tabitha was better than real Tabitha.
Well, I gotta believe that good Tabitha's somewhere in there too. By the way, do you know about a geese?
Do I
Not
know-
like the terrible honking birds of doom, but
oh,
like
no, they're great. I mean, they are dangerous, very, very dangerous. But with the right glaze and sides, amazing.
I would
Especially
believe
if you can get ones that were raised in the Underdark.
Underdark geese.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. They're even nastier and more bitter than the other kind of geese. But I think it's all that bitterness that soaks into the meat that makes them extra delicious, especially when you pair them with a nice mushroom sauce. It's so
Oh, that does sound very tasty. Are they magical? Maybe they're related to the geese spell. Apparently, there's a 9th level compulsion called geese, and then he begins like explaining it.
good. Oh. Do you think Tabitha's under a geese?
Maybe that's what happened.
I mean,
Or maybe the geese is making her be who she was before? This is very
How do we heal a geese? The spell, not the bird.
I reaching back. I know I'm reaching back into the past but I rolled to know about the spell. Is that something I'm familiar with, or
How to get rid of it?
um?
Uh, was that a yes?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, so with the checks that the two of you made to know about the spell, it typically lasts about 30 days. Um, though it is an incredibly evil thing that casters can keep a cycle going by before the spell runs out, just recast it. And during that time, you can't break it any other way short of remove curse, greater restoration, or wish.
What if you kill the person?
I have spared the dying. I mean, I don't know.
Well, here's
it
my
might be it might be a cantrip, man. But hey, it's all like, hey, I don't know. I don't think so.
if we could heal the geese that Tabitha's under, if she were theoretically under it, then we could do that by killing her. I could revivify her using one of the diamonds that Enzo has from his pack of prizes. And then we could, have old Tabitha back.
I'm not gonna lie, after all the shit she's pulled, whether we get old Tabitha back or not, I wouldn't mind killing her.
Well, she's already died and come back once, right? So it's not even like it's super unfamiliar territory for her.
So you
Only
will
question
you
I
will
have
note
is
you
only
will
question.
note in a
I'm sorry,
couple
go
of
ahead.
times that someone has actually tried to do something to her. It has not been effective.
Do we think she's projecting from somewhere?
You would have to try and figure that out at the moment when it's happening. She generally has not been interacting with what's going on. You hear her voice, she is talking, and everything seems to line up correctly, but could be an illusion, or it could very well be a scenario of she's there and just has other things going on to protect her from what you guys have done. Hasn't been a lot that you've tried on her.
But we did see her interact with the ground. Or, well, Burke saw her interact with the ground.
Yes.
So I guess if I had to ask, and Burke will kind of voice this out loud, but also like I'm asking if I would know otherwise as a character. Does healing magic damage undead?
No.
Generally, no.
Like undead like Tabitha?
No, Tabitha was able to be healed normally.
Okay, so she was able to be healed normally when we were with her. It wasn't like we didn't heal her.
Correct.
Okay.
Ivy doesn't do any of the weird fun stuff like that anyway.
Oh. I have been deep into the indie RPG rabbit holes everywhere, so
sure.
Okay. So Enzo, do you want help making these cookies?
Yeah, I have the perfect thing you can do to help me.
What?
When you were a kid, were you ever in the kitchen with your mom and dad when they cooked?
Yes.
Good. I'm going to cook. You're going to tell me stories about what they used to do.
Okay. So my mom is, and he begins like rambling about how his mother was like an adventurer and she used her axe a lot and then she would chop firewood and that kind of stuff, just like boring stuff. Just like the whole way back.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna use it all for inspiration for making the cookies.
Hmm. He will share with you about his grandmother's ritual that he's been teaching Thorn about the butterflies every morning and explain that's how he got the tattoo.
Now, is your dwarven or elven grandmother?
His elven grandmother. And he'll tell you about Belize and all of the lore that he knows about her, absorbed from his grandma, all that stuff.
Sounds like you had a really good upbringing,
I did.
good home life. It's a good thing you're doing for your family.
I think I didn't appreciate them as much as I should have.
Yeah, I definitely want to do from the farm to the table kind of restaurant. I would like your family to be involved.
Oh, I bet they would really like that. Mom and dad are very into the farm.
It'll be all organic, no magically altered foods at all. We're gonna go old school on this and just cook from our hearts.
Oh, I don't know if you can get non magically altered food these days.
If you're growing it, we can.
Yeah, but we grow it with magic. My dad's an elf.
Oh my god! I guess it's gonna be magically delicious, and no matter what we do.
Yeah, I think that if I tried to grow something without magic, he would be rather embarrassed.
Ah, think so? I mean,
Probably.
there's a kind of magic that kind of comes from just working with your hands and nothing else. You should
Hmm.
try it sometime.
That's what my mom says. She calls it rage.
So I don't know if I'm in the vicinity while this is happening, but I'm gonna use my magical. So damn it, I forgot exactly what it's called. You know how artificers can magical tinkering. Um, kind of like, hey, I kind of just hold on to a stone or whatever, and kind of like I record up to 6 seconds of a recorded message, you know, and it's basically Enzo saying like, "Hey man, the kind of best magic you can make doesn't come from a spell book; it comes from your hands," type deal. Literally just 6 seconds of that, his own words, just kind of like, hey, if he starts acting goofy again, I'm gonna play this back and
I'm
forth.
gonna throw this rock at his head.
Yeah, basically, I just recorded a YouTube short, basically like of you saying that, you know?
That's
That
great.
that would be a really short.
Yeah.
All right, so Enzo decides to make cookies. That takes a little bit of time. What is it? What else? What is it else that you guys want to do? And this can count as the treats if you want for the day, Dave.
Oh, okay.
You could
Ooh.
you can technically make more treats to be able to give out to the people here, but then you can make a couple that are special extra that have your power in it.
Okay. Perfect.
Well, I know I would like to spend about 11-ish minutes um getting identifying up and going to eventually tell the group what this orb of pondering is.
Oh yeah.
So as you cast identify on it, um you realize that is not a overly complex situation. The small little spherical gemstone can be affixed to any item of choice, and it either becomes a +1 item or increases its plus by +1.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Wait, what? All I
You
heard was +1 to lower the play. Like, what?
you can make your
Okay, so
Yeah.
You can put it into a regular sword, and it's going to become a +1 sword. If you put it into a long sword, it's already a +1 long sword. It becomes a +2 long sword.
Or gun. Replace sword with gun.
Or replace gun with sword with gun. That works that way as well.
Or hear me out,
and-
Gunblade.
Well, it doesn't have the ability to fuse 2 items together.
But okay.
But you can also make cosmetic changes in appearance to said device as you apply the stone, and it becomes a fix. It's not going to fall off. It's not, but it is a separate item, and it's not a permanent thing. If you want to be like, all right, well, I played with it with this thing for a while, let me pull it off and attach it to something else, you can do that.
I'll wait till Nebula wakes up to figure out who needs it most or whatever.
Sure.
Because they're sleeping hard right now. I mean, they're really taking that.
I imagine they're kind of woke up, ate some breakfast eventually, and they're putting their heads together to try and talk tech.
She's working on her potatoes.
Yeah, well, I don't want to disturb her. I'm like, look, Nebula can do.
Sure.
The last time I crossed Nebula's path, Arnold got chewed out. So he's like, look, my bad. So I'm giving them their space.
Sure. All right, so we have 15 minutes left of session. Is there anything that you guys want to do? We want to end a little early.
I think we should end a little bit early since we don't have Nebula here today.
Yeah.
We'll reach out to Robin and make sure that they're safe from tornado. We definitely don't want to have tornado steal our favorite Ohioan.
One thing before we go, Burke is going to go all over town advertising this talent show, and he wants everybody to participate, and he's going to tell people the weirder your talent, the better. And he's just going to go full in on this, trying to get the best talent show possible.
All right. So give me a persuasion check.
Okay. I am not trained in that at all. 12 plus 0, 12.
I give you my inspiration since I had it for the last 5 seconds.
Yes. Let's see. 14 plus 0, 14.
There you go. All right. So we'll figure out when this talent show is gonna happen. Maybe even next episode. We'll see. But we've got a 14 on a persuasion check to get a talent show going that Thorn is already on the way for. So check out the links to where you can find these amazing people down in the description below. While you're down there, also contemplate looking into that D&D in a castle so that you can come out and hang out with yours truly, and maybe even be in a game that I run. It's an amazing time. I am super excited about checking out this new location. And until next time, stay nerdy.